Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the Project WARDEC, that is a AI powered wargame center that is going to be unveiled or established by the Indian Army. So let's try to understand about this in more detail. So first of all, the context in which we are discussing today's issues is because recently the Army Training Command has signed an MOU, that is Memorandum of Agreement, on the 13th of May. The agreement has been signed with the institute that is called as Rashtriya Raksha University, which is situated in the Gandhinagar district of Gujarat. So what this MOU basically says, that the Rashtriya Raksha University will help the Army Training Command in establishing a wargame research and development center in the military area of New Delhi. Now, if we try to briefly understand about this particular project, this Wargame Research and Development Center has been given an acronym of Project WARDEC, and this is going to be India's first of its kind simulation-based training center in India that will use artificial intelligence to design a VR wargame, that is virtual reality wargame. So basically, if we try to understand that what is about some details about the center. So first of all, the main objective or purpose with which this center is being developed is to train the Indian Army and its soldier to test various different kinds of military strategies which can be used both for full-fledged war as well as in conducting any kind of counter-terror or counter-insurgency operation. The basic focus of this center will be designing of this war game in a metaverse enabled gameplay. Now, what is a metaverse? We'll discuss in a while. And as we discussed before, the both objective of preparing the military and the soldiers in the counter-terror and counter-insurgency operation will be achieved via the training in this particular center. So we discussed the whole theme or the whole concept on the basis of which this wargame or this wargame center is being designed is on the metaverse. So what is a metaverse? Now, if you look at the origin of term itself, the first time the term metaverse was coined by an author called as Neil Stephenson when he wrote a science fiction novel in year 1992 that became very popular. It was a kind of sci-fi novel, and the novel is called as Snow Crash. Now, later on, this same term metaverse has been also being used by Facebook these days, which has changed the name of its parent company to Meta, that is sort of metaverse. So what is a metaverse? As per the concept given by the author Neil Stephenson, metaverse he imagined as a kind of area, a kind of a zone where lifelike avatars of humans can meet in realistic 3D buildings and other virtual reality environments and can have an interaction. However, in the modern parlance, the metaverse is generally defined as a broad shift that we have seen in the area of computer technologies, and also a broad shift how we interact and communicate using technology in this fast growing world. So right now, metaverse basically hangs around two different parameters. The first is virtual reality and second is the augmented reality. Now, virtual reality is something that gives us a kind of virtual space which is having a very similar kind of environment as you see in the real world, and once we use certain instrument, for example virtual reality glasses, we are able to interact with the other VR, other person who are also part of VR or the environment that is part of VR. Similarly, augmented reality refers to a space where both digital environment as well as the real physical environment are interacting with each other. So by combining both AR and VR, user can have a very good understanding or very good feel of the actual environment but in virtual space. Now, when and how the center will develop? So as per the statement given by the representative of RRU, the center will come up in a military zone in the capital city of New Delhi, and the capital and the center will be developed by a collaborative effort of Rashtriya Raksha University along with Tech Mahindra, and the design time is somewhere in the 3 to 4 months when the whole center will come up and will be ready for use. Now, let us try to understand slightly about what is Rashtriya Raksha University. So as we discussed, this is a university that is situated in the Gandhinagar, that is the capital of state of Gujarat. This RIU has also been given a status of Institute of National Importance by the Act of Parliament. And if you look at the RRU, basically it comes under the domain of Ministry of Home Affairs, and it is a specialized, this institute is specialized in the area of national security and the policing function. So the main objective or the main work of RRU will be to construct a Wargame center that is based on the prototype lab that is already existing in this particular institute. However, the institute representatives have said that the same prototype lab that is available in Institute for Wargaming, that will be further fitted with artificial intelligence and cyber security, and thus can be used by the Indian military. So how will be this particular Wargame center will work? So first of all, the Wargame center, once fully developed, will give a realistic experience of the actual situations to the trainee. So how realistic experience of actual situations? We can understand this from this particular example. That suppose any training is training under this Wargame center, and suppose if any weapon that is weighing almost 5 kg drops, or suppose the air pressure falls, then they will feel like it is really happening in their life. That means, so they will be fitted with certain kind of technology and all this kind of glasses and something that will give them a very live situation, real-time experience of whatever is happening in the VR. They will have the feeling of same. Now the Wargame center is designed in such a way that will have war games that can be conducted between player versus player. That means different trainees can come together and play. Apart from that, it can also have a design where a player or trainee can train with the computer, or even computer versus computer. So all three possibility will be available there. Now, what are the promises and advantages this Wargame center offers to the Indian Army? So first of all, as said by the Army, whenever a war game is done in the physical environment, real environment, the soldier have to think from 361 perspective. That means 361 directions are there from which enemy can attack or ambush them. So what are the 361 directions? First is 360 degree, that is all around the soldier, and one is from the air. So by using this war game center, all 361 directions, a soldier will be able to actually train himself from all the possible 361 direction, and will able to think the strategy how he will have to repel the attack or counter attack. Not only that, the center will be useful only for the Indian military, but later on it is expected that even central armed police forces, like we have border security forces or CRPF, CISF, they can also use this metaverse enabled simulation exercises for the better training purposes, which can be very helpful for them when they are actually in the field. And third point is that once fully developed, this wargame simulation will give the trainee a totally immersive training experiences, as it can simulate a battlefield close to the reality and even map several eventualities in the probable event of a war. So the most important advantage is that the training will be a very close to reality. However, the space needed for training will shrink significantly because of using of virtual reality, and also the actual damage or threat or the chances of incidents that can occur in actual training can also be minimized. However, at the same time, the efficiency of the actual training, real physical training, will be maintained. So the question comes, is India the only country or the first country to start using the war game? So obviously the answer is no. There are several countries, especially after the incident of 9/11, that is when the World Trade Center of USA in the city of New York was attacked by the Al-Qaeda terrorists. The countries like United States of America, United Kingdom, and as well as Israel have been continuously using war game for training their troops as well as their forces to repel or counter any kind of terror attacks, or even in the case of or eventualities of a possible future war. Not only that, when a nuclear security summit was held in The Hague in Netherlands in year 2014, the three leaders of Germany, Angela Merkel, the then President of United States of America, Barack Obama, and the Premier of China, Xi Jinping, participated in a war-game situation where they had to actually participate in a such kind of war game where a nuclear attack has to be done, or nuclear attack has occurred. This nuclear attack actually has occurred over an imaginary country which was named as Brinia. So all these three leaders have come together and participated in this nuclear attack war game. So it is not a first kind of thing that is being done in world, but obviously it is first of its kind in India. So that is all about the Project WARDEC. We'll have to wait and watch that when it actually comes up, how effective it is, or whether it is able to fulfill the objectives or desires of Indian military and the armed forces, whatever they want from this particular design of particular war game. So that is all for this particular issue. Thank you very much.